There's a million different ways you can make chicken wings. Today we're going to make gyro style chicken wings with a homemade tzatziki sauce. Now the first thing that we're going to do today is season our wings. I want a little bit of a binder on these, so today I'm just going to be using a little bit of duck fat over top. Just kind of mix these around. And today over top of these wings, we're going to be using Malcolm's Gyro Hero. Don't forget that we're going for that gyro flavor today, and that's where we're going to get it on these wings. So I'm just going to put plenty over top. I'm going to mix everything in. And I'm just going to keep reapplying until I get a good coating on all of these wings. Now I'm going to go ahead and spray some duck fat over top of my griddle. And then we're going to start putting our chicken wings down. So I do want to make sure that I hear that sizzle. What I'm actually trying to do here is build a little bit of crust on these chicken wings. So I want to make sure that there's two sides to this flat here. So this side right here, in my opinion, is just a little bit more even than the back side that has that knuckle on both sides just kind of exposed. So I'm going to go ahead and put this down first. This seasoning smells so good already just hitting the griddle. You can get some of those flavors. I can, of course, smell some of that jalapeno coming off of this seasoning. Just smells really, really good. That is a tiny wing right there. And I can't stress it enough again that this seasoning just smells so good right now. I think it's really going to turn out delicious. So I'm not even going to sit here in front with you guys. I've never even had authentic gyros myself, but I know that that's what Malcolm was going for with this seasoning. So we're just trying to recreate those flavors here on chicken wings, one of our favorite foods. And while our chicken wings are cooking on one side, it's just time to be patient. Like I said a second ago, I really want to build some crust. That's exactly why we're using the griddle today. So I'm not going to check these for around 5 or so minutes. What we can do is kind of sacrifice one and flip it over and just see what the crust looks like. But we'll do that in just a second. And while it's been about 5 minutes on our wings, I do want to start checking on at least one of these just to see if we're building that crust that I was talking about. Oh yeah. And you can see right away that that is that nice crust. That is exactly what I was looking for with this cook. Woo! Now that I know some of these wings are nice and crispy on one side, I'm just going to start flipping and oh my Lanta. That right there is exactly what I was looking for. I know I said it just a second ago, but that is absolutely beautiful. We're just going to go ahead and start cooking this other side as well. Oh yeah. And just so you guys know, I did actually hit this side of the chicken with duck fat just a second ago, the side that was not on the griddle. And that's just so I could make sure that I don't get anything sticking to the griddle as I was flipping these wings. My gosh, these look so good. Absolutely beautiful. You can see that I got a really nice crust over all of these wings, with the exception of this little guy, but other than that, everything is looking really delicious. I'm going to let these go for just a few seconds. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to turn my burner over here on the right all the way to low. And for now, I'm just prepping this right side. Make sure it gets a little bit less heat there because we are going to finish our wings on this side in just a minute. It's been another 5 or so minutes, so I want to check the opposite side of our wings. And yes, sir, you can see that there's that crust there on both sides. That's exactly what I was looking for. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my tongs down. I'm going to grab my spatula and I'm going to start putting all of my wings over here on one side of the griddle. So at this point, I want to use my Weber dome here to kind of steam them a little bit and get these cooking. So I'm going to put half a stick of butter right in the middle. And then I'm going to do half of a lemon all over top of these wings. Just going to go ahead and mix up real quick. Get all that butter nice and melted. Get these wings tossed in. And don't forget, we already turned the heat down on this side of our griddle. We don't want these to cook too fast. I want to bring them up a little bit slower. And I also don't want to burn that butter. So that's why I went ahead and lowered the heat to low. And although it's going to be a tough task, I'm going to go ahead and force all these wings to go right under my Weber dome. We'll check them every 5 or so minutes until they're completely done. We're looking for at least 190 to 200 degrees internal on these wings. Now, while we have our wings under our dome here, we're going to go ahead and make a tzatziki sauce. And that's really hard to say, so I hope I'm not butchering it, but these are pretty common when it comes to gyros and when it comes to Greek food. In order to make this, we're going to start with 1.5 cups of Greek yogurt. Now, the next thing that we're going to add is half of a grated seedless cucumber. Now with this, you want to make sure to put it into a clean paper towel or into a kitchen towel, and you want to squeeze all the water out before you add it to our sauce. Next, we'll add 2 tablespoons of olive oil. We'll add 2 tablespoons of chopped dill. Now we'll add 2 cloves of garlic, and we're going to go ahead and do a squeeze of lemon. Now we're gonna hit it with a little bit of that base. We're gonna go ahead and mix everything together. We'll taste it and we'll keep seasoning if we need to. We feel like it might need a little bit more seasoning. We'll mix that together one more time. We're gonna take a quick taste. That's absolutely perfect. We went ahead and put our tzatziki sauce in the refrigerator just so it could cool down a little bit. Let's go ahead and check our wings. It's been around 7 or 8 minutes since we put them under the dome. Dome off, and oh my gosh, these look really good. So you can see they're getting pretty dang close to exactly where I want them. Yeah, these are done. These are actually done, my Lanta. You can smell that lemon. It just smells so, so fresh. So I'm ready to take these off here in just a second. What I'm gonna do is just toss everything into that butter real quick, and then we'll get these off. Oh my Lanta, these look so good. Now, first things first, we're going to take a bite of this wing without the tzatziki sauce because I just want to see how that GYRO tastes on these chicken wings. You can see that crust on both sides just looks incredible. Oh my gosh, those are insane. Such a velvety bite. If you cook your wings to 190 to 200, we actually took them a little bit higher. They're at like 204, 205. They're still so tender. They're still so juicy. The bite is just velvety. That is a perfect chicken wing. You get a little bit of spice from that jalapeno, and of course there's just so many seasonings going on with that Malcolm's GYRO. It just turned out so good. I really wanted to try something different with that GYRO. There's a lot of proteins out there that go well with gyros, but I just wanted to see how the chicken wings came out, and I highly, highly, highly recommend it. Now let's take a bite of the wings in the tzatziki sauce and see how that tastes. We have a wing with a lot of tzatziki sauce on it. Again, you see that beautiful crust. You get punched in your mouth with a little bit of that garlic right away, that dill right away. It doesn't taste like ranch, but it's just so delicious. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna do one more dunk in that. You guys have to try out this tzatziki sauce for sure. So simple, so delicious, so easy. It really brings everything together, and I'm definitely getting that flavor that I was looking for today, that bite, that everything just came together. If you guys enjoyed a recipe like this, let us know by dropping a comment. As always, we really appreciate you guys tuning into this video. Thanks, and we'll see you on the next one.